biggest babyface comeback. I'd have to think he'd be a babyface. We're on live. Hell, we're on live right here.
We're on live.
We're on Rip Rogers Live. Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Ask Rip Rogers Live. And you know what we haven't been doing, I don't think? Haven't really been ready. Haven't been prepared.
I've been cleaning my glasses.
We haven't done this.
Oh, yeah. Headband or head bob.
Starcade, baby.
Starcade, baby.
We haven't been putting Starcade over enough lately.
Greatest
ever. 3 people on here today. We're on fire. Concrete time at 11. You tweeted out we started at noon today. It was a little interesting tweet there.
Yeah, I got. I did.
Join us at noon, ladies and gentlemen. We're on at 11, but join us at noon. It's going to be on fire.
I did the video talking about it at 11, but then I printed on top. I was a bit. Let's say I was a bit confused with all the trouble we had with our guest today. You know, just.
And remind me, I sent you the pictures, and you did not tweet them out the same way you tweeted out. I was just waiting for that. Last week, I think it was, when Herb Simmons sent you the promo pic, you tweeted it perfectly.
Oh.
And I said, oh, look at this. And you're like, well, that's how he sent it to me.
Yeah.
So I sent you 2 pictures.
Yeah.
And you didn't tweet them exactly.
But it didn't have the retweet sign on there.
You didn't retweet Herb Simmons. You just tweeted the picture he gave you.
Well, he sent me a picture.
Well, I sent you 2 pictures.
Well, then I obviously took.
You tweeted them, but you took screenshots of them.
Yeah. But I couldn't retweet it because there wasn't a retweet thing on there.
I'm not talking. Oh my God, I'll show you when we're done.
Okay.
Remind me. I'm not talking about retweeting at all. Anything I'm saying right now has nothing to do with retweeting.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I got to teach you that. We got to get some pictures of you. God, that's the other thing. I meant to get it. Is that the seat down? I mean,
I did.
Look at you right there. Look at you right there.
Wait a minute.
I try to clip this stuff up, and then in a little bit, you'll be talking like this, and then I won't see you at all. Half my videos are like this of you.
I'll be like in the
or like this.
I'll be like.
Here's your other favorite pose, like this. You talk like this, and then you get off the mic and do this. How's that, Rip? Welcome to the show today, Rip. Happy New Year, man.
Hey, all right.
As Clayton said, the greatest show.
The greatest show we're going to have.
We did all year this year so
today.
far. Anyway, maybe we should figure this out off the air. I'm sorry to bring all that up on the air, Rip. All these people here. That's all right. I just turn heel. Everybody then gets on me instead of you. You're the ultimate baby face on this show. There's got to be some sort of heel. You've been heel all your life, so
yeah,
it's my turn to be heel, and you can be baby face. Buckshot Kid in the house. Andy's in green.
He's in green.
Means he's a member of the show, a loyal member.
He's over.
He's fairly new at this membership thing too.
He'll be over, baby.
You know what he told me one time?
He's
like, you need to, he sent me a message one time. He said, you need to do a show or an interview for members only. And I said, you do realize you're not a member. Like you wouldn't even be a part of the show.
What did he say then?
I don't even remember what he said.
But he's in green now.
Many months later, he is now in green.
Okay, that's all that matters then.
Many
that was sort of like like knowledge by Lilas.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it took him several months after, but who else we got in here? Clayton, we stole your line a little bit. Going to be the greatest Wrestling with Rip Rogers this year. That's right. It's the first one. Clayton in green too, Rip.
Well, Clayton's over. You know.
He is over. Stephen Keys, hey, thanks for, or Keyes. How do you say that last name, you think?
Keys.
K-S?
Keys.
Keyes?
Keys.
All right.
You just don't spell it right. Just K-E-Y-S.
He's been really helping us out with the comments on YouTube. He's been putting some comments out there, getting that, it's called a algorithm, Rip. He's been getting that algorithm going.
Well, I'll give him the algo and you give him the rhythm.
All right.
Because I ain't got none.
Sounds
what
good.
What the hell, right?
Jason, and I say that name, T-K-A-C-S. T-Cats.
Wait a minute.
T-Cats. Or maybe
wait a minute. Spelled backwards, it's scat.
I bet it's a silent T. I bet it's cax.
Morning, gentlemen.
You think it's a silent T?
I don't know. Maybe spelled it wrong.
Maybe. Hey, Opinion Haver's on here. I'm going to be a guest on the big NXT review with Opinion Haver and Big Ray Hernandez Wednesday morning. Man, I never know the time. I think it's 9 Eastern, 9:30 Eastern, somewhere in there. Plug that stuff in the thing, man. I'm so bad at this. It's on the are you guys back on YouTube or are you still only on Facebook? They all got banned, I think, from YouTube for a while or something. I don't know, Ben Hameen,
They got
or
banned from
maybe I'm spreading false rumors right now, but
Maybe it's an innuendo then.
I feel like maybe you need to scoot over. I scooted you over. Well, not too far.
I want a younger, more attractive man.
Yeah. So we'll be reviewing NXT. You know what that means, Rip?
Next.
It means it means I have to watch it.
Oh, you have to watch it?
I haven't watched it since I did the last review with Opinion Haver and Big Ray Hernandez. Clayton says, can Rip talk about the time he fought off a brown trout to retrieve Barry Windham keys? I guess he's talking the shit story.
No, everybody they just put it in their book trying to get content because they ain't got any that's cool like me, I guess. Or something like that.
Good talk. Don't forget Buckshot's membership was that's it.
Oh,
it was gifted. Remember that guy came on a couple weeks ago
and he said Buckshot's over
and gifted the memberships. So Buckshot's not even paying for his. This is free. Somebody else paid for it.
We get free knowledge from him, so what the hell, right?
Good call. We gotta let everybody know that. Good call, Opinion Haver. Calling him out right here. Buckshot Kids membership was gifted.
What's Opinion's middle name?
I don't know.
Opinion?
Something Haver.
Oh, John Tucker.
No, we got to go right to that. Anytime we see Green coming through, we go right to it.
Who was it carted off in? Oh, yeah. I will have to look at it.
You don't know?
It might have been me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you don't know for sure?
No, I've seen it before.
I know you've seen it.
Yeah. But I knew they did that to me on my final night there. Randy Powell drive me.
But you don't remember if that's the intro video?
Uh-uh.
Listen to this, John Tucker. It's amazing you just brought that up. I just went through an old ICW DVD that I found in Rip Rogers' box here at Lila Studios. And the very first thing on it, now I transfer these on this little bitty screen, but looking at the little bitty screen, it looked like very clear footage, the clearest I've ever seen, of the ICW intro. So we're going to get that on. We're going to get that out, get that on. I'll show it to Rip, and we'll get to the bottom of this. We can't answer that super chat question that we really appreciate right this second.
Hey, but I can't answer now.
We'll get to it.
It's Jason Tax. The K, wait a minute. Yeah, Tax. The K is silent.
I said the T was silent. I was close.
Yeah. So you knew something was silent.
Sure, it had to be. Nobody's Tacax, right?
I mean, you could, but you couldn't say it good unless you was born that, and you get used to it, I guess. It's like Yaj Nelum Nostrabor. That's Joe Miller Robertson spelled backwards. Crazy Robertson who's from Seymour, from Browstown. Yaj Relum Nostrabor. Never forget that.
Oh,
we figured that out when he was 1971. Anyway, free is amazing. Okay.
Let's see. I love free. Yeah. Okay. Opinion Haver. Let's put that up here, right here now.
Opinion and Haver.
11 a.m. Eastern. I was close. Humming Media Group, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Live every Wednesday. That's when I'll be on 11. I was only 2 hours off.
It'll be live every Wednesday.
Humming Media Group. That's where we'll be. Everybody join us. Talking about NXT. I haven't seen it since the last time, which is a long time ago.
Is that when Ben Hameen's gonna go, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh,
he's not on this show.
Oh, okay.
He's too high to do NXT.
He's too busy being a Hameen Media Group.
Yeah, he's like he's top of the pyramid, man.
Oh, okay.
He's got Opinion Haver doing his NXT work. He doesn't do that kind of stuff.
Oh, so Opinion and Haver, he's doing stooge work then.
Yeah.
He's stooge. He's like a gopher.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went from the army of two to the army of one, and now he's the army of none. Yeah. He's just Opinion Gopher. We'll have the new name, Opinion Gopher.
Man,
if I can remember that, I probably can.
Hey, we're just kidding, man. We're just ribbing you.
No, you're not. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
You said it, man.
Okay. Am I allowed to talk?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. It says wrestling with Rip Rogers.
I'm just telling you that you're turning back heel now, like on Opinion.
I'm supposed to be babyface.
Yeah, you're supposed to be nice to these people.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, all I wanted to wish JR a happy birthday from a couple days ago, So that'll be a nice guy thing,
Yeah.
won't it?
Still think you ought to ask him to come on the show. Worst he can say is no, Rip. I learned it from you.
JR, come on our show, Wrestling with Rip Rogers. It might be live or it might be tape, but just JR having me on there that'd be a thing in the cap or whatever.
He could do it. Even if is he with AEW still? I get confused on.
Yeah, but Mark Henry. But
that's what I'm saying. He could still do it. We learned that from Mark Henry.
Yeah, he's JR.
Mark Henry said, "I'm Mark Henry."
I guess that's what he wants to, and he's JR. He can do what he wants to. It don't get any better than that.
What are they gonna do? Fire him? He's only on. I don't even know if he's on anymore. He did. I think the last pay-per-view, maybe like a match. I don't think he's on. I know he's not on Dynamite. I don't think he's on normal TV at all anymore with AEW. No.
Well, hell, he should be a special announcer anyway. The legendary voice of JR. He should be on there.
Jason Takak says you can only go up with guests after having Rhonda on. Wonderful. Wait until Dion. I don't know. Let's see. What else we got? We got anybody else in green on here? Red Shirt Mafia. They're talking about our red shirts here, I guess, Rip.
Oh, well.
We always plan that. Let's get some plugs out there, Rip. You ready to plug some of your stuff?
Let's see. What else was I? Let's see. What was I? Let's see.
Hey, these shirts have been on fire. I got them right here, Rip. Oh, how do I get rid of that? Talk about your shirt, Rip.
No? Oh. Well, yeah, but you talk so good because it'd be like if not, I'd have to talk like a heel because I'm
talk about your shirt.
I
mean, I do everything on here. Talk about your shirt a little bit.
Hey, why don't you send some money and give it to me? Give it to me and get you a Hustler Rip Rogers t-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. You can get the Wrestling with Rip Rogers on the one on the left, and I got one at home, but I forgot it again. It's in my bag. And then that one right there, you bought me one of those too. And then I ain't got no eyes in that one.
No.
So he's funny looking. Ain't got no hair in them arms either. My right arm's bigger than my left. I guess that's sort of like normal, isn't it?
ProWrestlingTees.com. They don't really send you money, Rip. They go to ProWrestlingTees.com to the Rip Rogers store, and they buy a shirt. Hey, you sold another one. I think we just sold a show shirt this last week.
A show shirt?
Oh. Show shirt. Wrestling with Rip Rogers.
Okay.
So sold a couple, and then you also got this right here, Rip. The big book right there, Rip. It's on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
The book on pro wrestling.
Lessons from Rip Rogers. It don't get any better than that.
And I still, right here, have Tony Khan's copy that Rip will sign and send personally for half price. Half price, Tony Khan. It's still here at Lila Studios.
Hey.
Waiting on you, baby.
Speaking of Tony Khan, I see where Deonna Purrazzo got going to AEW.
Well, we'll get into it right now then. Look at that.
There she is right there, the virtuoso.
The drum roll and breaking news. But
drum roll, we'll do it in reverse. So
we ought to do a format.
Okay. Hey, we don't do format.
Well, we should.
We should. Well, there's Deonna. Why I saw that.
Deonna Purrazzo is all elite, baby. We got one in there, Rip.
Now, is her husband all elite, or was he with TNA?
I have no idea. We're talking about Deonna Purrazzo, right?
Yeah, her husband, Steve Macklin.
I don't know.
Okay.
We're doing a segment right now on Deonna Purrazzo.
I'll have to call her up. I'm going to say, hey, can you and your old man get on the show here?
I don't know if we want her to get heat right in the beginning of being in AEW.
Oh, what the hell? Tony's used to it. Maybe I'll call the Bucks up, see if they can get on.
Yeah, get them on. She's already been on the show, and it's almost
I know, but it's a whole different game.
I understand, but I was going to promote. Look at this.
Yeah, it's a new company.
I go into like hours of work on this show.
I go into like seconds,
and then you just
blurt something out.
You just run the whole thing basically that I have all lined up here. I was going to promote if you've not seen it.
This you're talking about Deonna.
This is our channel. I'm trying to plug our old stuff on our channel because when we did that interview, we probably had less than 1,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got. There's a drum roll. Get that drum roll ready. Now we've got 8,841 subscribers. Not sure about that.
That was Inagata Davida in the middle.
So the point I'm trying to make is. We've got about 7,500 new subscribers since we interviewed Deonna Purrazzo. So I'm trying to say, hey, go back to our channel. Look at this interview. We got a Killer Cross interview on there. We got Mickey James on there. We got Gail Kim on there.
Yeah.
We got EC3 on there. I mean, we've got all kinds of current stars.
Like the greatest stars in many, many months.
On the channel, but you got to dig through it a little bit. I actually got it in playlist. If you go to interviews at Lila Studios, you can find all of them. Go back, watch the old shit. It's pretty good stuff.
Well, that's great, but I don't know how to get it on. If anything I get on my phone's an accident.
Well, I'm not really talking to you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking to the
Them.
people. Yeah.
Them, thems.
I'm not talking to you to go watch our old interviews. I'm talking
What?
to our new listeners.
Oh, okay.
There she was coming down the ramp.
She looks like a virtuoso.
She does. She ought to be called that.
That wouldn't be bad. Of course, she was trained by the world's greatest ladies trainer, Damian Adams.
Yep.
Right there in New Jersey.
And that's where the show was. So they debuted her in her hometown.
Wow.
She got a big pop. Came out against another new girl that was like from, I don't know, England or somewhere. Slapped Deanna. Deanna slapped her back. It was good. I thought it was I thought it was well done.
It was the greatest girls match in that town that night.
Well, it wasn't a match.
It wasn't a match. Oh,
No.
it was just it was a Hottie's angle.
Oh, yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
It was to intro her to All Elite Wrestling. It was her debut appearance.
It was her debut.
Not a match.
The first time you seen her.
Yeah, and I think it was her dad in the crowd. She was pretty emotional. It was pretty cool. I thought it was good. I sent her a message, said, "Hey, congrats, awesome." She sent me a message back, "Thank you." So I'm over.
Well, we know you're over. You're also about 6'12". Now, you're not as big as Chili, but you know.
Maybe she'll come back on the show one day, but we got to let her. Now, to her husband, I have no idea if he was there. Last I knew, he was with TNA.
Okay.
Buckshot Kid is our TNA expert in the chat, so maybe Buckshot Kid knows if Steve Macklin is still with TNA or if he's going to be All Elite.
I imagine she's going to be All Elite. Then they can go. Then they can go the same towns together.
I feel like you've got some inside info, Rip. Do you have?
No, I don't have any inside info. I saw your thing over there.
Oh,
that's all I saw. Oh, Deanna's going to AEW.
Oh,
Okay.
geez. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, Opinion Haver says JR was put on hiatus on travel, but he works for AEW and will be back.
Who?
JR, Jim Ross.
Oh, he was what?
Put on hiatus on a hiatus on travel. So I don't know if he can't travel or
he had some health issues. Maybe. I hope that's not it.
Dave Channel in the house says, "Good day, gentlemen." Dave Channel also
all right
contributes all the time on our channel by commenting on the videos. Look at this, Rip. Which was silent, the T or the K?
Tax.
Tax is a new member.
All right, he's over now.
Member.
Jason Tax is now officially over. OVA.
Yeah, he just said, "Look, I'm green now." Hey, we got you, buddy. We got you.
He always calls me Rip Gandalf or whatever.
No idea what that means. Do you? Is Gandalf like a?
I have no idea what it was.
Is it like a real person? Is he like an old criminal or something? Is he
I'm an old criminal? So
Dave Channel, what's Rip Gandalf mean?
That.
Who is that? What's that mean? We don't know what that means. Help us out. We're not smart.
I said happy birthday today to JR, which is old, right? Okay, and then Fearless Flatliner, he got a hold of me from England. Wanted to tell everybody about the death of Brian Dixon, who I worked for in England. Regal worked for in England. So last time he was the legend. He was cool.
Did he wrestle too, or
no? He was just a promoter. Done it for that's been 30 years ago. So he was a promoter about 45 years or something. But Lord Regal, he worked for him. Robbie Brookside worked for him. All the top guys from England, they all worked for Brian Dixon. So may you R.I.P. Brian Dixon, the great wrestling promoter from England.
There we go. I don't know if you want to tell this story, Rip. I think you've told it before. Maybe you don't want to tell it all. That's another guy we ought to get on here, man. Your buddy's with X-Pac.
Yeah.
Get his ass on the show. Tell a story about X-Pac shitting in your bag.
Well, he told it to me, but he he accused me of doing something. I said,
You guys had a little heat for a minute or something?
yeah, I said, well, here's what was happening. We was working some shows for Mock and Sing. Mike Shaw.
In the microphone.
It was Mike Shaw. We had the 6-man cards. It'd be me, Lucky Sandlin. Let's see. It was X-Pac, the buddy that works for one of the agents. His
Oh,
buddy.
yes. It was who was the first guy you said? Did you say somebody first?
Mock and Sing.
No. It was Jerry Lynn.
Yeah,
Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn. Anyway, we had the matches, and we made $100 that night, and Mike gave us $100 bills. So he had it in his when he took his trunks off.
Who's he?
Oh,
Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn. We was taking a shower. This is when my feet work, so I took my foot and like a palm, I
Cupped it.
I cupped it with my foot. And then all of a sudden he was panicking, right? And then I said, here it is, you geek. you gotta be over. When you're flipping your stuff and stuff, you gotta always know where your money's at.
So then,
but anyway, so X-Pac, he said he thought I stole his money or whatever, but then I said, "So what the fuck you talking about? God damn, I got better things to do than go steal one of the boys' $100 when we all needed it." And then we just laughed about it now.
so why do you think he thought you stole it? You
have
gave
no
it back to Jerry Lynn, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember it popped up on the internet.
Yeah,
And it was like an old video, though, of him basically, just bashing you, calling you a effing thief and everything else. But it was like an old video, and I'd sent it to you or something, and I don't remember. But then you went on his show after that.
right.
You were on his like podcast or whatever, right? Yeah. So then everything's good.
But the asshole got me when I went to work for WWE, and he shit in my bag. But I said, so I wasn't going to put it over, right? It wasn't a really good shit, though. If I was going to do it, I would have ate, where I was ready to explode in about 6 hours, and I'd have extra corn and not try and chew it good. So it would just explode everywhere and be a good one. So he got me, but I wasn't going to put it over.
So do you think he shit in your bag because he was pissed about Jerry Lynn? Is that why he did it? Was that the?
I guess that's what he thought. But I didn't know it was him because I didn't know I had to eat.
Do you remember how you guys talked about it? Like, how did you contact him after I sent that to you, or how did you guys ever like hash it out or
whatever it is? I just laughed, and I can't remember. I just remember saying, "Oh, Sean, what the fuck would I do that shit for? God damn, that's one of the fucking boys. Jesus Christ." So I don't know. I can't fucking remember.
So you heard it here. Rip's getting X-Pac on the show. You guys all heard it. Buckshot Kid said, if you get a Venmo account, people can send you money. It's like an online bank. Yeah, we're not going to sit here and beg for money, but if you're a member to help us support the channel,
I'll beg.
Then you're going to be like Kenny Bolin.
Wait a minute, because if we get the money in, we're going to send it to
the kids in the Philippines.
Philippines. Okay, I was going to say it was Trinidad or Thailand. I thought it was.
I think it's Philippines. Every member on here, we donate all that money to
the shirt fund.
We don't really at all, but no. Somebody made a comment on our thing that they enjoyed that we do free content because Kenny Bolin was on there begging the other day, and I guess I saw him post something about he wasn't doing it because he wasn't doing his next show because nobody donated to the Philippines, and he was all hot, and I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to beg you for money. However, if you're a member, that would be awesome. It helps support us. I mean, we're going on 2 years of, doing this quote unquote for free. So yeah, anything helps.
You lose money, but you got a rich old lady and the hot wife.
I definitely lose money.
Lives in the. You got to have something to do, right?
We're gonna.
You can only cut so much grass and train so much and be 6'5" or 6.
Yeah. Well, I want to make a living off this eventually, Rip. I mean, that's what I want to do. Well, Macklin's in TNA. We said, yeah.
Okay.
Mike Myers figured out someday. I'm new to it, but it started 11. It's 11 a.m. Eastern. We used to be a solid 12 Eastern. And then it just changed to 11 Eastern. And that's that, man. Mike Myers from Southern Illinois. Maybe you should check out last week. We had Herb Simmons on there. He's from Southern Illinois, any Rip?
Yep.
How soon before AEW buries Deanna? I think I don't know, man. I think she's too smart and too good. I mean, she walked away from WWE because.
No. Okay. Go ahead.
Did she not?
Yeah. No. Here's what happened.
Because they weren't using her.
Deanna, when she got signed by WWE, let's say when you're trained by Damian Adams, his girls are so much better than the superstars that they get heat on them. Because A, the girls are hot, and B, they can really wrestle. And all the girls that have been there a while, making money, whatever, this and that, is all of a sudden, well, she's a bitch. Well, but she thinks she's over. It's all her. So, and in the marks, have to get on the buried. Hey, did you see where the
Rip turning heel?
Yeah. Hey, did you see where
calling our new member at Mark right away? He just became a member. Now you call him a Mark.
Well, you're supposed. Yeah, I'm a heel now. I'm back to heel. Where Jokic hit the 3-pointer and they won. So I guess Golden State was buried.
I think they are buried. They're 16 and 18 now, just lost at home. They may not. They're not even in the playoffs right now.
They probably won't make
it. I think they are buried. Actually,
they're not. Really,
it could have been the dagger right there.
It could have been the dagger. Jokic just fucking laughing.
Well, welcome to the channel, Jason.
Yeah.
You Mark.
Hey, don't worry. I'll heel on your ass. Wait a minute. First, he's got to put some question money in there to wait and send it to the. What word can he send it to?
Philippines.
Philippines.
Jason's just no longer green. He just ungreened himself.
Jason did? Okay. Yeah. I've been called.
Anyway, I think Deanna asked for her release. I just actually put the clip out, man. Because they put her in NXT after having her on TV wrestling all the stars. Put her in NXT in the beginners class.
Yeah, and she talked about she'd been wrestling for like 7 years or something like it.
I've done it already. It was such a mind fuck of like.
All right.
I've been on NXT TV. I wrestled Nia Jax. I wrestled Asuka. I wrestled Bayley. But then when it's like time for me to be the TV star, I'm not ready. I don't understand.
See, I don't know. I think she'll tell them to take a hike if they. I think ultimately she's going to end up in WWE at some point. She's still young. Isn't she like 25 still, probably?
Something like that, because she was a teenager when she started.
So, there we go.
Tony will figure it out. Uh-oh. That'll be a good one.
Rip, what do you think about strong style wrestling? Isn't the best wrestling out there? Is it the
Hey,
is he ribbing us here?
No.
Isn't it the best wrestling out there?
There's no such thing as strong style. That's a Mark term.
Well, I mean,
whatever. Here's strong style. We hit each other hard and neither one sells it.
Right.
So it's stupid. Why don't we act like we hit each other, make it look like it, and we do sell each other? Oh, I know. Let's just knock the shit out of each other and don't sell it. Hey, we're tough. We're strong style. You're fucking marks if you're doing that in the fucking match. Get fucking real.
So you like it?
It's fucking stupid.
So I'm trying to figure out if he's ribbing us here.
No.
I think every U.S. wrestler should do it. Surely he's ribbing.
No,
and then at the end he said, "Love your show." No more, he doesn't.
Well, that's good. No, they can go in here and say what the hell they want to, but they're like us. We're fans of the NBA. We're basketball fans. We don't know shit compared to the players and to real coaches. Okay. No matter how much we watch it, how much we follow it. Everybody's a mark for something. I'm a mark for a fat woman with 3 jobs. So what the hell, right?
All right, let me ask it this way.
Okay.
Let's compare it to the NBA, not as if you know anything about the NBA and basketball and coaching and all that kind of shit. I'm talking watching it. So, for instance, when I liked the NBA, it was, Reggie, well, even back to Larry Bird, but Reggie Miller and that group. The scores at that time Knicks Pacer games, 80 to 70.
I'm gonna say
90 to
yes.
80. If you hit 100 points,
Yeah.
it was something. Now the scores, look at the Pacer games, 150 to
Oh,
140,
my God.
140 to 130. So let me
Dallas-
ask it this way. Which do you like watching better?
Oh, I like to watch when you're allowed to play defense, where you can hand check. If somebody would go up for a dunk, you just undercut the son of a bitches right there, and they wouldn't go down the middle anymore. Now you breathe on somebody, it's a foul. It's all offensive. You're allowed to, every jump stop is a travel. Everybody palms the ball on every dribble. It's fucking horse shit, which the league, everybody wants to see scoring. And if you're a kid, yes. In any sport, you want to see a whole bunch of runs. You want to see a whole bunch of touchdowns. You don't want to see a boring defensive game.
So maybe that's all he's saying. Maybe he's just saying he thinks strong style is more entertaining or more exciting. I don't.
No.
I can't stand watching it.
Well, yeah,
I can't stand every AEW match. It's Moxley and somebody else chopping each other 40 times back and forth. Chop, and then stand there with their chest open. Chop, your turn, chop. God, I hate it. Maybe he likes it.
Hey, you'll like this. I said, Wahoo, let's trade chops, right?
Yeah.
So I'm working with Wahoo McDaniels, one of the greatest choppers in the world. So he hits me he blisters my motherfucking ass, right? So my first chop, guess what I did, Bon? I just chopped him in the fucking face as hard as I could.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why?
And
why?
Just to show you how stupid chops are. Then boom, his nose started bleeding. I think it loosened it a little bit.
Did he not want to kill you after that?
Yeah, but he was the boss, so he wouldn't. He goes, "What the hell was that?" I said, "Well, I just thought I'd do a non-conventional chop the way chops should really be." He just went. He goes, "Damn."
I thought you were going to do the opposite and just sell it and never like go down or out of the ring or whatever.
So that just buries a fucking chop.
If you sell it like that?
No, if you sell a chop, oh my God.
So which one are you saying buries it? When you smack him back in the face?
When you sit there and
oh yeah.
Yeah. Like everything in strong style is just fucking stupid.
The thing is, it really hurts though. That's what's so
I
stupid.
know.
That's what's so dumb.
Yeah. No, I want you to look like you hit me and you don't, so I can sell the shit out of it. That's like if I really grab a goddamn hold on you, sell that. I can't. It hurts too bad. I can't even fucking move. It hurts so bad. Jesus fucking Christ.
Rip, when you were on the liquid diet, what would you put in your drinks?
Do what now?
When you were on your liquid diet, when you didn't eat for like...
Oh, all I had was water, orange juice, and a glass of skim milk. I didn't put anything else in there. I didn't have any. I didn't
put a yogurt in there sometime, didn't you?
No, not when I really did it for the 150 straight days. I didn't. After 3 days, there was no hunger, and it was just,
Xbox said all the bags he shit in, he regrets doing it to Rip and Mike Sharp. Wow.
I want to ask Sean. Sean, how many motherfucking bags did you shit in?
That'll be our first question when you get him on the show.
Sean, how many bags did you actually shit in?
Hey, that's good though.
And what's the texture of turds? You know, did you drink a lot of stuff to get it extra runny, or do like I said, have the corn in there so it would explode out of there? Everything's different. You know, what the hell, right?
What's good though, at least somewhere he said that he regrets doing that.
Oh, he was just ribbing to get a little sympathy. He didn't know if he was going to turn heel later, I guess.
Rip not a heel until he dyes the beard. Hey, at 10,000 subscribers. 10,000. We're dyeing the beard on the show at 10,000 subscribers. So we got to get you guys sharing this.
We're going to do a dye, or can we just do the black pencil thing?
Well, we're going to.
Something. We're going to color it.
It's going to be colored.
Okay.
Just let me
you hustle.
Let me
like
take
you
care
do.
of that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not ruin anything here.
Okay.
Beard dye at 10,000. We might
Speaking of beard dye, you could put a little on the snake.
So I bought this new stuff. It's a salt and pepper. But it's way more salt, I think, when I use it.
Than pepper.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got tired of dyeing it and it looking like the Steel Man beard. I wanted not all jet black or brown.
I just think when I'd bleach the hair as white as I could get it, then have the jet black beard when you put all the shit in there.
I would do it if I was a gimmick. Like if I was in the Convertible Blondes, I think it'd be awesome.
Well,
But I'm a 50-year-old father of 2 kids. I don't
yeah, but you
need to
only
look like
but
I don't
you,
need to look like the
yeah, but
Steel Man. I
but
don't
you
think.
look like you're only probably like 49.
Yeah, well,
So you're over. Well, that's because you got the gym in the garage. You can train all day.
I don't though. I'll get back to it. So I ask if you still work out. Show him the bicep, Rip. What are you
Let me
asking
see.
Rip if
Let me
he's
see.
well,
Oh,
you got it. You got
I
it.
got to get over here. No, I don't work.
Look at that.
No, I don't fucking work
Doesn't
out.
work out
In
at all.
February, I'll be 70 motherfucking years old if I make it.
Nope. Doesn't work out. Medium 5 in the house.
Where's medium? Well, where's he been? He's probably been at the sex club or something like that.
M. Grant might be new listener. Welcome to the show, M. Grant. He says
M. Grant, a lot of fans confuse Southern style with strong style. No, strong style is just horrible.
yeah.
Southern style is basically storytelling.
I mean, they did punch each other a million times.
Yeah,
but they didn't just
right. Which is why when I was growing up, I didn't like Memphis wrestling at all.
I loved it.
Well, but you was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got in the wrestling business, I said, no, especially if you got a great punch, you can't go around. And I said, no, a nice jab sequence, keep them a lot to the gut. So you're not looking at swelling and discoloration and stuff like that. Cause you don't want to go out there and throw 50 punches and not have a mark on you. Jesus Christ. Either the guy's got a super steel face or you punch like a pussy, one or the other. So limit your strikes and just sell each other.
Worked for Lawler for 50 years.
Yeah, it sure did. I also watched him where he punched Buddy Landell 60 times and that was the finish. And Buddy didn't have a mark on it.
I know, but somehow
it worked.
It worked.
Yeah. So what the hell? Well, that's the power of television. That's like when Santino could go whoop, 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 and whoop, hit the Cobra or whatever, right? Or Mankind could put the down his throat and everything. Yeah. Total cartoonish. Just laugh all the way to the bank.
Rip, did you ever wear the Louisiana heavyweight title?
I think somebody had it years ago for Watson. I think I put it on one time in the dressing room. It was a rib, but
that's it.
That was it.
You were never the champ?
No.
Rip should do the Hogan NWA look. I like that.
Hey, here's the good thing about Louisiana. Well, like if you were the champion, it's like if you was anywhere else, you were responsible for bringing the belt and making sure it got back every night.
If you were the what?
If you were the champion.
I think everybody does that, don't they?
Bill Watts had, like Ricky Ferrara, the referee, had a big, huge fucking suitcase.
Oh, really?
And he took the belts what happened, guys, like when you'd work for Bill Watts, your pay was on a 2-week delay. So if you didn't give him a notice, he just took 2 weeks pay and just took it from you. So guys would give proper notices.
Okay, get back to the belts.
Okay, so now, but good one.
I have no idea what that has anything to do with what you're talking about.
But Ricky Ferrara would say, "No, JYD, where's the belt? You know I have to have it. You know I have to have it. Do not rib me." Of course, Ricky was French Canadian.
So WWE, they travel, right? They take their own belts everywhere.
Well, Bill Watts didn't let you.
So was he one of the only ones?
I have no idea.
You won some belts around the world, didn't you?
Yeah, and that
did you travel with them?
That was the only place where usually if I had the belt, I just put it in my bag and made sure I got it back and took it back every day. But Watts had all the guys would leave, so he'd like if he owed you $2,000, he'd just take $2,000 from you for not fulfilling your bookings and everything.
So do you remember when Johnny Nitro was? I think he was with Eminem at the time. Do you remember when he left his belt in his apartment in Louisville?
No, I remember hearing a story about it. But
so I showed up to your class, and I think it was you that brought it up. Nitro needed somebody to go to his apartment in Louisville and then drive the belt. I think it was Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
And they paid me $300.
That's right.
So I got out of class.
That's right.
And made $300 driving to Dayton, Ohio to take his tag team because he forgot it at his apartment. and he needed it for whatever show or
Johnny Nitro.
show.
He's been Johnny. How many different names? It's awesome.
I think he's in AEW now, Johnny AEW or whatever they call him there. Johnny Wrestling. What do they call him?
He's Johnny Over with me.
Yeah. What do they call him in AEW? Anybody know? Let's get to this, man. We got a paying customer.
Bobby Lopez, baby, for Rip and Billy
Billy
Jacks. Thanks for always putting my questions over. All right.
Am I Billy Jack, I guess. Billy Jack
Well, you
Haynes.
look like Billy Jack Haynes a little bit.
But I got the bigger beard maybe and darker, and maybe if
Yeah.
I was a lot bigger and had some muscles. The leader of the cult of Rhonda Shane is Rhonda Shane. FKJMS73 says. Love you, Rip Rogers, man. That's pretty cool.
Was that a male or a female?
Probably a male, I would guess.
Let's see.
Johnny TV. EBS in the house. I
Okay.
guess they call him Johnny TV. See what else we got here. I had some other stuff, I think, too. Oh, God, I can't believe I almost forgot this. Did you see this? You know what this is?
Oh,
Rick?
that's Jericho's when he takes a trip and on the
cruise.
yeah.
Look who is at the
Oh,
bottom.
I saw that. I made comment or I put that on there. The Outrunners on
The
it.
Outrunners.
Oh, I was talking about the
made the Jericho Cruise, Turbo Floyd, and Truth Magnum.
and the Outrunners. They'll be spinning the whole time they're on there. So they need to spin to the left, but then when you get in the water, spin to the right, or the boat will probably could capsize. Or is that what you call it? When
Yeah, maybe
the boat sinks.
And look,
Turbo and Floyd.
can you see who that is in the middle?
Johnny Cruz? Is that Johnny Nitro?
It has to
It's
be
got to be Johnny Cruz. Nick Wayne's going to be there. What if his hot mom's going to be on there?
I don't know.
Hey,
Johnny Cruz.
If
that
that
is
happens,
awesome.
hey, so hats off to Chris doing his traveling thing. He's still over with me, so what the hell, right?
He's been taking a lot of heat on the internet, but
Well, who don't take heat on the internet? It's always nerds getting on him or getting on. Nothing but jealousy on anybody that's done something in their life, and the nerds can get on there.
well, there's some other stuff besides that.
Well, what the
Maybe-
hell? Nobody's perfect, whatever
Right.
it is.
And Rip, let's talk about some little current wrestling here. I don't know if you've been aware of this,
I
but
wouldn't know what's current.
the devil has been revealed as Adam Cole Bebe.
I thought he was hurt,
He is hurt.
and I thought
He can't even walk. He sits out there in a chair.
Okay, but he's the devil,
He's the devil.
and the devil looks a whole lot bigger than him. I guess he was on a date or something like that, or he was on a diet.
I don't know.
The devil dieted way down or whatever.
I don't know about any of that, but Adam Cole is the devil, and MJF lost to Samoa Joe, got taken out by the devil and his men, and now has disappeared from AEW and the AEW roster on the internet, the roster page.
Well,
he is
that
no
means-
longer listed.
Well, that means he's already signed, or the kayfabe signing, or whatever, because Tony's going to make him think that he's hurt, he's gone, or whatever it is, and this and that, and MJ, he just going to laugh all the way to the bank.
So you think he's re-signing with AEW?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's your prediction?
Yeah. They treat him like a star.
Well,
They treat him like a star that
haven't
he is.
been.
No, wait a minute. No,
Mm.
let's say if you was there, you have a great run for 2 years,
Mhm.
and then there's you're going to work this thing. All he's got to do is come in and kick it, and when they announce he's healthy or whatever the thing is, come in and kick everybody's ass, and he's back to being his old obnoxious self, doing what the fuck he wants to. Because he gets into WWE, they're going to give you, here's your scripted match, and here's your scripted promo, and don't step on any toes, and now get over. And he's my size. So if Tony treats you as the fucking king, be the fucking king as long as you goddamn can. And you'll be a star on your network. And when it's time to re-sign again 5 years from now or whatever, then go to the next fucking level. Get every goddamn dollar from Tony, all you can get, because you're a once in a zillion fucking talent coming in like this. be yourself, make that goddamn money, and be set for life.
A lot of GDs in that segment.
Well, hell, I didn't say fuck too much, did I? What the hell,
So,
right?
now keep in mind you don't watch AEW.
Right.
Okay, so
But I see stuff on my phone.
But
all
I
the
could
time.
see where you're saying.
Yeah.
If he goes away for a decent amount of time and comes back as how he used to be, I think the fans could forget all this that has happened. But they have made him look, in my opinion, like a pussy ass goof. I don't know, man. I just think I think it looks more like they're doing this to him on his way out to WWE is what it appears. Now, they could be doing what you're saying and just he's going to come back with the biggest, greatest comeback ever to AEW.
Yeah.
Ass kicker, king of the mountain again.
All of a sudden, a new devil appears.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, when he takes the hood off after he's laid out everybody with a ball bat, a ball peen hammer, or whatever the hell whatever thing he's in, all of a sudden he rips that mask off and it's MJ fucking F.
Well, don't you think if he comes back as a new devil, everybody will know it's him?
How would they know that? Because he's supposedly in hibernation. He's getting a surgery done or whatever the hell's wrong with him. Hell if I know. Hell, Tony's he's going to write it.
The NDA cruise. I like that.
The what?
Somebody said the NDA cruise.
Oh, the Nita cruise?
No, NDA. The big controversy that we broke on our show, Rip. The NDA that broke the internet that happened right here on Wrestling with the Rip Rogers Live.
Okay.
But you don't know anything about it.
Hey, it's 11:46. You know what happens in 14 minutes?
What's that?
Rhonda Shane's coming on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I got some, look at this right there, Rip. Look at that.
What is it?
Friday at noon, right there. Up all night with Rhonda Shane. Look at that. We got it right there. Good.
Look at the tits on Rhonda Shane here.
Hey, speaking of, look at this one.
Yeah. Holy moly.
How about those?
I could put my snabits in there.
Snapits favorites. Anybody got any questions for Rip today?
Fernham Durham.
He's got some questions for Rip Rogers today.
Nobody. Okay.
Everybody's had enough of your act, Rip.
Well, what the hell, right? You know, I'm still thinking about Jokic hitting that big three.
See, you watch sports, you watch TV, you watch basketball.
No, I watched Sports Center when I was on the bike at the gym.
See, TV. You watch TV.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I watch is Sports Center. Or they had the Sports Center in the morning and they call it Let's Up, Get Up or something like that today. I just wanted to see the NBA shit. The rest of the time I'm sitting there peddling with my phone on, looking at semi-porn and whatever, you know.
Here's a question from EBS. Is there a match Rip Rogers wished that he had or could have been a part of that wasn't?
That wasn't?
Or wait, maybe I read it wrong. Is there a match Rip wished that he would never have been a part of? Even better. A match you were in that you wish, man, I was not in that match.
I wished I wasn't in the ring with the guys that were the shits.
Really? I figured you would want to.
Oh, no.
I always kind of like that.
Well, there's two ways of looking at it. One is you can make them a whole lot better than they are, but you're scared of getting hurt because they do stuff that's it's non-traditional. That's like when the Road Warriors started. They were hurting everybody.
That's different.
And when I looked at him, I go, that's real, and that's real. Oh my God, don't let me in there with them.
Okay, well, that's different than what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like when I'm going back to OVW to the what were those things called? The
like a Saturday night special or something.
Yeah, no, well, Homecoming, when they would bring like some of us older guys back to wrestle the new amateur guys.
Okay.
Not somebody. So when I would do that, I wasn't going to let anybody do anything to me that I didn't want them to do. Now, if you're wrestling the Road Warriors, that's a little different story. Yeah. Maybe you can't tell the Road Warriors, oh, no, I'm not taking this or your finish. Or,
I did.
Or whatever.
I said, no, do it to the other stupid motherfucker, not me.
Okay, well, you were in a tag match.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you had a choice there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, like, when I went back to those Homecoming, I knew I had a guy that's had maybe it was his first match. Just some
Oh
training.
yeah, you got to defend yourself. And
Oh, I love that shit. Because why would you ever let him do anything to you?
no, they can just fall awkwardly, or some dumbass from behind could leave their feet in the battle royal and stuff, and land on your Achilles tendon, hit you from behind. All kinds of shit can happen. But no, when you go in there, you just beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah,
I always like that. But if everybody's beating the shit out of everybody, and then somebody starts leaving their feet, then you got trouble, and everybody's tripping.
Yeah, I'm
over
not talking about
everybody.
battle royals. I'm
Okay.
I'm talking about normal matches,
Uh-huh.
like maybe a tag, but a normal match. Dave Channel said, "Can you talk about Pistol Pez and your time with him as the Convertible Blondes in ICW?" Good question.
Sure. Pez was the first black heavyweight state champion in Tennessee in high school.
Oh, really?
Then he was got a wrestling scholarship to Southern University in Louisiana, but then he transferred back to University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So he was the heavyweight wrestler there. And George Weingroff, who was legally blind and was a wrestling coach at the Indiana School for the Blind, and the son of Saul Weingroff, who was a wrestling legendary manager for about 40 years at least. He was the 185 or 189 pounder there at Tennessee Chattanooga. So Pez's dad got his foot in the door into pro wrestling. So I known Pez for years, and Pez was at one time I was like a bodybuilding champion, and Pez was the Kentucky State powerlifting champion. Pez was one of the greatest. What's so funny, Pez was so good being a pro. When he was a baby face, you could not imagine him being a heel. But then when he was a heel, you could not imagine him being a baby face. The best thing I could do was in a promo, I says, no, keep that microphone away from me unless I got a singles angle or whatever. Let Pez is the goddamn mouthpiece. There ain't nobody going to out talk shit with fucking Pez. And I said, let him just do his shit. And we just smiled. Pez was so fucking good, fucking strut, rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling, could do everything better than the baby faces. But when he was a heel, he was total fucking comedy. He was stiffer than shit.
Was he?
Oh, he broke George Weingroff's jaw punching him. Because I remember George lost about 20 pounds, and he had to have the steel thing and everything. He'd be cussing all the time because we eating food in front of George just to fuck with him. But Pez was fucking great.
How did the Pez joining the Convertible Blondes? Do you remember whose idea that was? Why that happened?
Well, Ricky Starr was going home. It was me and Ricky Starr, Gary Royal, and Ricky was going back home. So we just I'd had a long feud with Pez, so it was either Randy or Miser's idea. I don't know. It was probably Randy's, and we had Pez in there, and then Pez would go out there and he would have lost the mop head angle. So he had the mop head and then he bleached his hair, which was great. It was great for about 3 days. Then it started getting frizzing up and everything and being horrible. But then he obviously bleached his hair and it was obviously looked to shit. So,
well, he was a convertible blonde.
Yeah,
you had to bleach. That's what convertible is.
You people quit shut. Who called me that? Whatever he'd say, don't call me that, whatever. And then it would just be the chant, like whatever. So
you were all for it though when they.
Oh hell yeah, Pez was fucking. Pez was one of the funniest motherfuckers. Some guy cut us off, and so Pez cut him off, got out, and Pez started walking up there, getting ready to talk shit. All of a sudden, a big gun comes out the fucking window, and all of a sudden, you saw Pez like not moonwalking backwards, but pantomiming walking backwards. He said, get the door open. We was in Eastern Kentucky somewhere. So anyway.
On that ICW DVD I was talking about, it was the one where they brought out the box where Pez was in the bra and panties and the wig or whatever.
Yeah, what that was.
Mrs. Macho Man or something like that.
Macho Man contest. Yeah. So they opened the box up and there was Pez. He was tied up and he had the bra and the panties and the wig on and everything. And this was when he was blaming Ronnie Garvin, I'll get you, Ronnie Garvin, or whatever. But what it is a lot of stuff we did at ICW, Garvin and Rupert Norton, they had done different angles. This was before cable TV, so you'd take angles you did here, and you could go around the country doing the same old shit because nobody had seen it unless it was a local market. So we got a lot of stuff from Knoxville, and they always used the the big box, and that's where they introduced. They had Crusher Black instead of Crusher Broomfield. In Knoxville was Crusher Blackwell.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, and that was the
CB.
CB. So we got the CB. That was all Garvin's idea. So when they do TV, it would be Orton, Roop, and Randy. They do the TV. They'd be over at our house smoking dope and whatever, right? And coming up with ridiculous angles and how we can make it and update it and change it a little bit. So it's a little different story, because people, we had a lot of the same markets that Knoxville had. We had the Johnson City market. We had the Hazard and a Lexington market, which got all the Eastern Kentucky areas. So it was, if you in Knoxville, you'd sort of seen the same thing before, but with different characters.
Got it. Somebody else had a question. Dave Channel said you should get Jimmy Valiant on here. I've reached out to Jimmy Valiant a couple times. He doesn't know how to do the computer. He said I have to like go there or set it up with somebody else. Or...
Handsome needs a little guy. He needs to eat, you know.
Well, I'd pay him some money to come on here.
He's on first name basis with you. Vaughn, hey, cha, ho, ha, hee, ha.
I don't pay people to come on this show, so we do. People come on for Rip. I think Jimmy Valiant. He's like one of my childhood.
He's one of my childhood heroes.
Met him a couple times. Really love the guy. Probably does need to eat. I would.
Well, he hadn't eaten in a while.
I would donate. It doesn't look like it. I would help him out a little bit, but he can't really figure out the whole computer thing.
How many of your books did your mom buy?
Just one or two.
One?
His book and Angel's book.
Angel, yeah.
The kids' book.
Yeah.
But he said that I could come there to, where's he at? Virginia?
We're going to
spend the day there and go through the school and film stuff, which I still might do at some point in time. I think it'd be great content.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good time.
I can just see your old lady grabbing you by the ear and just saying, "You ain't going nowhere."
Oh, she's already told me to go.
Oh, she wants to get
she
rid
said
of
she had paid for it and everything.
All right.
Well, she wants, she definitely wants me to go.
Oh, okay.
She thinks it'd be good for the channel. She wants our channel to blow up so much, Rip, that she doesn't have to work anymore. That's why she is supportive of this.
That's why you're Father of the Year, Husband of the Year, Year of the Year, and 6'5" of the Year, and etc.
We got maybe one more question here, and then we're going to get to our guest here. It says, what are your opinions in AEW to see the good guys attack the bad guys and have more numbers and act like the good? Yeah, AEW is all backwards.
Hey.
It's all backwards. It really is. I don't.
Hey, just think, if you love wrestling and you got a chance to do what you wanted to, you didn't want to do. Why would you want to do the same thing? Tried and true methods that work when you can do something you think was cool, or people.
I thought you were being serious for a second. I was getting ready to fucking blast you.
They'd never think of that. Hey, I know. Let's have all the good guys beat up the one bad guy, and then he almost croaks and everything, and he has to go to the hospital. And then just think how cool we would be. And we could all super kick and slap our legs too. Now that'd be over.
Yeah.
Or it'd be stupid, one or the other. So what the hell? I guess the numbers don't lie, but you know how it is.
Let's see if we can. I think I'm going to put this on here beforehand. Let's see what.
This is from Rhonda Shane, by the way, a frequent contributor to the program.
From Up All Night? That was Rhonda Shear.
That was Rhonda Shear. No, completely different. This is Rhonda Shane. You know the drill. It's Rhonda Shane.
I actually didn't know the drill. I thought it was Rhonda.
No, it's Rhonda Shane.
I thought it was Rhonda Shane.
No, I just clearly said Rhonda Shane.
The illegitimate daughter of Bobby Shane, Rhonda Shane.
Well, and Ron would be extremely, I'm sure, thrilled if he was the illegitimate offspring of Bobby Shane. But nevertheless, and this is a topic we might need to discuss with some seriousness. So put your big boy pants on there, fella.
So we
right.
We need to plug Jim Cornette show for.
Well, we will.
Okay. Well, I didn't know what the.
So that was from Jim Cornette show. Jim Cornette and Brian Last. So we don't want to get any trouble, even though they don't plug our show when they play our stuff. We'll go ahead and plug theirs. Jim Cornette, everybody knows, YouTube channel, 392,000 subscribers or whatever. This came from one of those episodes of All Night with Rhonda Shane. Go ahead, Rip.
Yeah, well, Cornette Plug today had, he said the thing I would say, like, as the moves, the cool moves, like as seen on TV. That was in the video today. So anyway, we got a special guest today. Now we know it could be Rhonda Shane, or it could be Rhonda Shane. So it could be Tweedledee or Tweedledum. So we'll just do both of them. So it's Rhonda Shane, Bobby Shane's illegitimate whatever.
That's you know what, it all comes from when I was writing into Jim. He couldn't pronounce my name. It's French Canadian. It's a jumble of letters, and I told him, hey, this is how to pronounce it, and they gave me a little gimmick on this show.
They gave you a gimmick on the show.
Well, they gave me
doing the statement. Now you're in TO, right? You're in Toronto, right?
I am in Toronto. I am the Ron in Toronto.
You was what? Ron and
you can't spell Toronto without Ron.
Well, you could just spell it wrong. A lot of stuff I don't spell right. But anyway, it's great to have you on here. This is the experimental phase. The experimental phase to see what's happening. Let's see how many of your buddies on here they can get on you, insult you, and see what happens if anybody throws up any questions for you today. Let's see what's happening.
Amen.
I got the name thing right there, Rip. So I said, ask Rhonda to whistle. Are you a known whistler?
Oh boy. Listen, I mean, we'll get into the wrestling, but yeah, it's a hobby of mine. I went to the World Whistling Championships, and I might be appearing on this season's Canada's Got Talent, but I didn't have enough talent. I got the 4 X's put up, and Trish Stratus gave me the last X. So
oh, really?
Oh yeah. I whistled for Trish Stratus, and it didn't go quite as well as I wanted it to. But hey,
well, maybe you was
footage ever makes it out. We'll see it.
Maybe you was built better than her. I don't know what it was. You know, you had some little junkage down there. I don't know what the hell. You know.
How far did you make it?
Oh, I made it about a minute and a half through a 2-minute performance, and I got the big X.
But that was the first round or whatever?
Oh yeah, that's the audition phases and everything like that. Yeah, no, listen, it's I've still got PTSD from the whole experience, but
so it's sort of like the Gong Show then, huh? From how many years ago?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what it is, and I definitely got gonged. So I'm a little bit better at talking about wrestling than I am at whistling, but and so hopefully we'll be doing more of that today.
Well, maybe you should have went on that show and talked about wrestling then instead of whistling.
Lord,
maybe you would have made it to the next round. Just a little advice there. All right, well, let's talk about wrestling then. What do you got for us? I mean, who do you follow? Do you watch today's wrestling, old wrestling? What'd you grow up on? Give us the skinny.
I guess I'll tell you a little bit about me then, and my journey to fandom, and then my journey to being a sarcastic. Some people say I'm a bit of a hate watcher, but I think we've all been called that here.
True.
But basically, I mean, like anybody, I'm 40 years old. I started out my journey when I was about 6 years old. The Undertaker put the Ultimate Warrior in a casket, and I had to run across the street and tell my parents what I saw. And been a dedicated wrestling fan with, of course, the obligatory break that every mark like me has to take at some point. I took about 10 years off from 05 to about 15, and then I guess that's the more interesting part of my journey. I started watching wrestling again as an older man, and at first I was gung-ho. I went and saw that Survivor Series with Brock and Goldberg live. I couldn't stand it. A 60-second match for a main event. Thought I'd gotten ripped off. I said to myself, let's check out NJPW and ROH. I followed ROH and NJPW instead. I went to a show, and this is around the time that I started to find Jim and his podcasts. I went to this show with my best buddy. We're watching it, ROH versus NJPW, main event. Colt Cabana wrestles a stuffed cat doll in the main event. And my best buddy, Dallas, looks over at me and says, man, can we get the hell out of here? And That was about the time I started having some questions about this modern wrestling and saying, gee, this New Japan isn't quite what I remember, and this ROH isn't quite what they told me it was on the internet. And from there, I ended up actually taking Dave Meltzer's bait, and I went and flew to Japan. I went and saw Wrestle Kingdom the year that they were announcing AEW. So right at the same time they were announcing AEW in front of the Tokyo Dome, I was hyped. Alternative to the WWE, I went and flew down to Double or Nothing for the very first AEW show, and at that Tokyo Dome show, I got to see Dave Meltzer's favorite match of all time, 5.5 stars, Tanahashi and Omega. The artistic performance in the Tokyo Dome should have been 7 stars, I guess, but basically my journey is after that, I was fully supportive. I sat there at AEW ringside. I watched Cody and Dustin. It was the most beautiful match I'd ever seen in my life, even though I was kind of wondering why there was a legless guy in the Battle Royal. And among a lot of the other tomfoolery and buffoonery that we saw. And I started, somebody recommended Jim's podcast, and he just started explaining everything that I was seeing, that I was wondering about, the doubts and misgivings I had in my mind. And he showed me the way by listening to his podcast. And by the way, I just want to make sure that I say, I am in no way the leader of the cult of Cornette. That is Jim Cornette. That is Brian Last, possibly. I'm just a mark that makes funny comments and writes funny letters.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
it's like being the world's greatest baseball fan, the world's greatest football fan, the world's greatest basketball fan, and you're Toronto's almost near Mississauga, so the world's greatest Canadian wrestling fan. Then
in the suburbs of Mississauga, absolutely.
So do you still like AEW after all that?
I watch it someday, some weeks. Like any wrestling, Mark. Well, my mother lives with me. I don't live in her basement. She lives with me. But my mother kind of forces me to watch Dynamite because we got into this habit. We got into a pattern of watching it. And she critiques it almost as bad as Jim and almost as bad as Rip does. I mean, just the other night we were watching, she sees that Vikingo guy come out there, the guy, El Hijo del Mantar there. And he walks out and she says, is that supposed to be the QAnon shaman? Is that the guy that went in the raid in the Capitol? So, we still like watching it. We just, she likes watching it a lot more now that she doesn't have to take it seriously with me. That's for sure.
Well, if you treat it as a rib and you're drinking, smoking, or whatever, you just laugh and say, what the hell? And you just make fun of it. But you still watch it, so it still helps Tony Khan getting all those big numbers and everything.
I am part of the of what Dave Meltzer would call the Canadian key demo that he said was so important. It was going to put them over and make them an international success.
Do you subscribe to Dave Meltzer?
You know what? I've never purchased anything from Dave Meltzer, but like all of us, I think the first time I encountered Dave Meltzer was probably 95, 96 when I was a young fan on the internet. Just like Tony Khan said, I Googled, is wrestling real? And then I found rec.sport.pro wrestling and all this stuff and the wide world of the internet. And I think the first time I realized this guy was crazy and biased for Japan was about 1996. And it's when I came back, I couldn't believe that Dave Meltzer was still running the whole internet wrestling gossip racket. And it was just before he just lost his marbles with AEW there. So, I mean, I took him seriously I took him at face value. I flew to the Tokyo Dome because he told me there are tons of people there. He told me they take it seriously there. He told me that the journalists treat it like a real sport. There ain't nobody talking about Wrestle Kingdom when you're in Tokyo. The people, if you tell somebody you're in Japan to watch wrestling, they look at you and they say, oh, you're not one of those anime guys, are you? And I'll tell you, they got 25K fans. They don't pull 60K like they used to back in the old days. They get 25 these days. And, it's a little more modest than Dave would make you think.
My guess is he's telling you that because he's on Tony's payroll. Would be my personal opinion.
I would hope he would be on Tony's payroll as much as he puts those guys over. Hell,
Well, I just put a clip out when Bobby Fulton was on our show, and Bobby Fulton said that he has no business being in the wrestling business or whatever. He's not a Dave Meltzer fan. My view of it is that I would say the old school wrestlers are either done with Dave Meltzer or never liked him in the first place. So we had to latch on to the new style of wrestling and the new AEW and stay relevant and make money that way. I mean, I think the old people are done with him, so that's why he has to put all the new stuff over.
Well, it's also, I think that forget the fans, forget any of that. I think it's pretty obvious that the WWE and all the sources there that are making leaks are done with them. They don't even feed him fake news anymore because he just makes it all up himself. I mean, the other day, what was it? The Triple H puts out that tweet saying, "I can't confirm or deny a former WWE champion is going to be on day one." And Dave lives in this bubble. I mean, he only watches New Japan and AEW. I think he follows WWE by reading the news and reading what comes in his inbox, and just feels an obligation to still be the credible source of journalism for all wrestling. But it's so obvious. He predicts that. He says, surely this means that Andrade is going to be showing up on day one. That is the former WWE champion. Why on earth would Triple H make an announcement about Andrade? It's The Rock. The Rock shows up, and Dave is sitting there in his little bubble, just thinking it must be Andrade because that's the only story I've been following. Nobody talks to him at the WWE anymore. It's very obvious.
True.
Well, look at it this way. Dave's been around a long time, and years ago, before the internet and everything, guys would it's like if you worked for the office, it was like the promoters didn't want you reading that stuff. And old Jimsy Barnett, he'd be working in Atlanta. He'd go, "Ripley, you get your sheet? Any dirt?" But the thing about all this is Dave's made a living for a long, long time. But I used to look at the kayfabe sheets because all I wanted to know was, where was my buddies working at? What's the angles? If the attendance is correct, because they can put down anything they want to, because they'd have office stooges calling in and tell you who, and the guy would always put himself over as having the best match of the night, so you know whoever the stooges were. That's like Bulldog Bob Brown. He was always swearing, "Oh no," he called them the scandal sheets. I said, "Well, Bulldog, these guys always putting you over." He go, "Well, it's my match and whatever this." But every territory had the stooge, and they was on Dave's list. Probably got the free membership. And Dave would put them over for having a good match, and then so they were feeling better about themselves. But now Brian Alvarez, you're going. Brian Alvarez is sort of like his sidekick. Now he come to OVW years ago. He was trained by my buddy Buddy Wayne, who was Nick Wayne's mom's husband. And me and Buddy Wayne were real fucking tight. I did some seminars out there at his school and everything. And he was good. He was good. Go ahead. You're giving me the Iggy.
No.
Oh, I thought you was giving me the Iggy or whatever. But anyway, so now Nick Wayne's a star, and he'll be on Jericho's cruise. And Nick Wayne's mom is a big TV star.
I gotta say, Nick Wayne's mom, Shayna Wayne. I mean, I love anyone that's got a name that kind of rhymes with mine, Rhonda Shayna Wayne there. But I gotta say, I was watching, and I know you love Gianna Perazzo. So I mean, I felt bad watching her because she went out there and gave the squeakiest, most nervous, timid promo I've seen in ages. And then not about 2 minutes later, Shayna Wayne, with all 3 weeks of experience she's got, walks out there with presents, with a voice, a character, and gets out there and gives a promo class. I mean, I swear, I was 3 weeks ago, the woman was also timid on camera, and now she looks like a bigger star, and she's physically bigger than half of the roster.
She's 6'2".
She's bigger than most of the damned roster.
She's 6'2". She's third generation wrestler.
She is.
Fucking, or Moondog Moretti was her uncle. That's who she grew
Oh,
up. Yeah. See, she's been around the wrestling business for years. And then
Keep
Buddy
a
Wayne
promo
was her
class.
husband. So she's been completely comfortable around the wrestling business her whole life.
Oh, that makes
So
a lot of sense, because that was
Yeah, well, I was wondering. I say, well, I just took for granted that she was on payroll because there's always got camera shots of her. They're obviously doing angles and this and that. The only thing I didn't is Nick Wayne should have been a babyface 7-8 years, and already they've turned him. They don't have you're only good for one real good turn. After that, they do like Big Show, and you got a job because you're Big Show. But he's been babyface heel, babyface heel, babyface. You got to believe, you got to love him or fucking hate him. And in giving a guy that young, that's just you don't get overturning people. Pretty soon, everybody's turn. Everybody's confused of who's a good guy and who's a bad guy, and whatever the hell it is. But anyway, back to Brian Alvarez. He was trained by Buddy Wayne, and he actually flew in. Him and Midget and Mrs. Wayne. They all come in down to OVW to hang out with me, go to my class and whatever. And what was I talking about?
Probably getting to the hour match.
Yeah. It was the hour match with Chico Alvarez. I had a match. I had my buddy.
It's Brian Alvarez.
Yeah, Brian Alvarez, Ted the Trailer McNailer, one of my OVW guys who was so good. And he went in, they went out there and they had on TV, had never seen each other before, went out and had an hour match that started out, and they went probably about 57 because we opened up with them in the ring. At the end, they're carrying off, and Chico wins, or was a man? Chico won, didn't he? Yeah, Chico come in and had a match with somebody he'd never seen in his life. Because this is when Midget taught guys good, and I taught guys good. So, oh yeah, this is him. You guys are working an hour. When? Well, starts in about 10 minutes. So go do it. And it was no big deal to old guys. But now Brian's done well for himself. He's married with child, and he's a big star on Meltzer's thing. So more power to him. But he got out there and had an hour match, just fucking listening with a heel that knew what the hell was going on.
Did he ever wrestle after that? Did he never get into wrestling as a wrestler, Brian Alvarez?
No, I don't think so. He just did stuff with Midget, like if they work spot shows or something.
I remember with the Bucks sometimes. I know that he's. I know I've seen pictures of him wearing a do-rag in a wrestling ring.
I don't know. This is 20 years ago at least, or whatever it seemed like.
Probably 15.
50. I don't know how many years ago, but that was a long time ago. He was Brian was the.
Well, Buddy came that time with Nick Wayne's mom. They were in for that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I can't believe I just learned that Brian Alvarez went Broadway.
Yeah, it was good. It was all basics. Called in the goddamn ring. I knew my guys were so good they could do anything. We have guys do 2-hour matches. And then you have today's goddamn television stars can't cut a fucking promo. They can't call it on the fly to save their goddamn life. And for old guys like the way it used to be, it's fucking embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. So they can just take any guy off the street. Oh, here's your match. Here's your promo. No fucking talent at all.
And the problem these days is that a guy like me that should be buying tickets and buys tickets can see it himself now. It's so transparent now that when a guy like me on this side of the fence is able to make accurate criticism of it fairly regularly, you know that there's something amiss. You can just, you see them laughing when they're doing the promo. Again, I go back to my own dear mother, saw Adam Cole doing that promo the other night, talking after he revealed himself to be the devil. And she says, these guys, she says, there's something off. these guys are trying to act intimidating and menacing. And she says, and they're just clearly not.
They look like children.
You know, and the
Like
worst
they're
part is
playing
the
wrestling.
reveal with the Kingdom and everything. I've been watching Wardlow, I've been watching Taven, I've been watching Bennett on AEW television.
Mhm.
I went and unfortunately I saw Matt Taven in main event Madison Square Garden and wanted my money back. And and I went to see Okada versus Cody Rhodes, and I got Matt Taven and Marty Scurll in a ladder match, and a surprise appearance by Enzo Amore. But, you know, I mean, these guys take off the masks, and it took me like 10 seconds to click in who it was, even though I knew they were going to be the guys in the angle. They just looked like such frickin' nobodies in their little black pajamas, all standing there looking like they're members of the Heaven's Gate cult.
All right, we got Vlad in here. Says, can we actually argue? Maybe I would say agree that there is no AEW haters, but actually only fans disappoint AEW.
Oh,
We say on here all the time that we're not against AEW. We love Tony. We love AEW. We just wish they would do things a little differently for our taste. But yeah, I don't think it's that people don't want them to succeed.
We want them to succeed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
When Coke's doing good, Pepsi's trying harder. When Burger King's doing good, McDonald's is trying harder.
You know,
you need competition in anything.
Well, we've already talked more about AEW in this 20 minutes than we have for the last 2 years of this show. So let's move on from AEW. Tell us about Up All Night with Rhonda Shane. What's the story with that?
Up All Night, it's my little Facebook group. I got I like to say it's the after party of the IWC, of the Internet Wrestling Community. It's a nice the lovely Facebook group. We're about 2.5K members strong, high engagement. Everybody in it is pretty funny. We got a lot of smart folk. We got some wrestlers in it. We got Rip Rogers in it. We got some journalists like Greg Oliver, Brian Solomon. We've got some ex-writers. We've got a lot of fun members that joined the party. And then we've got Vlad over here in the chat. We got Jason over here in the chat. We got a bunch more that always chip in with funny, pithy comments. We try to keep things a little absurd. We like to make jokes. We like to make memes. And we like to think that we're maybe a little bit funnier than most of the meme groups out there. We try to keep the signal to noise ratio kind of high, you know?
I liked how you threw that pithy out there. Like you was in rare form, and it was pithy. I love that. That's what I do in the morning. I get up after getting up, and I have to take a piss. It's sort of pithy.
So you heard the intro when Cornette was reading your Rhonda Shane, or Lass was talking about Rhonda Shane, and then you sent me some pictures. We put one up with I'm assuming it's you in drag with some nice boobs. Is that really you? And do you take this Rhonda Shane as is that your new persona now?
No. It's that's a signed 8x10 from Rhonda Shear, the host.
Oh, that's Rhonda Shear. All right.
The real Up All Night. We're just a Facebook group. I'm just a guy. She's the real deal.
Oh, you look like her. I thought it was you with the wig on. You guys look the same.
You know what? I just got a real talented Photoshop guy in Kyle Leach. He helps me. He helps make funny stuff for us. It makes keeps us all laughing.
Well, shit, I'm all pissed off now because I was getting a little blood down there when I saw Rhonda Shane with them big old titties sticking out and everything. I said, "Damn, I'm gonna have to make a trip to TO, baby." Santino put me back there in Mississauga and do their seminar so I can get Rhonda Shane do a little extracurricular activities with her, him, he, she, or whatever.
Well, like I always like to say about breaking when I see these guys break kayfabe on or reveal themselves on social media and show and talk about their character instead of playing their character. I always say, the show isn't the same after the stripper shows you her junk.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I always tell people, hey, the guys are the assholes on TV. They're usually the nicest guys there are. Usually the baby face are the fucking pricks, and the heels are funnier than fuck. And the heels years ago, they're the ones that get shot at, bricks thrown at their fucking cars and everything. People try and knife them and everything. And the baby faces were, and the heel's the talent of the ring. The heel's leading the goddamn fucking match. He's the goddamn quarterback calling audibles out there. And the marks don't know that the heel's the goddamn star of the thing. Oh no, we love what's his face. His dad's a wrestler too, and we love him. Oh, fuck off.
I got a question for Rip, if you don't mind, actually,
Sure.
because you mentioned that as it used to be, and you're a big fan of improv, and you're a fan of calling it on the fly, and you know that now today it's evidently choreographed. I mean, everybody can tell it's choreographed. These guys have been practicing this stuff, except for that Vikingo guy, because it's too dangerous to practice this stuff, so he just goes and botches it on TV.
Oh, lovely.
But who calls it now? Because there's hardly any heels, there's hardly any faces. I mean, at least on the AEW side, the WWE is a little easier. But to your estimation, Rick, who's calling it these days, and how's it getting called?
I don't have a clue because I don't teach. All the guys that I did, if they had a show, if I saw any, they'd be looking at the door for me to come in. Everybody would run out of the ring then.
No.
And then what I used to do, I'd have like Vaughn Lilas, this just gives a name, against Brock Lesnar, right? So all of a sudden, they've called each other on the phone or got together some way and got their all matched. And so all of a sudden what I'd do is I'd send Vaughn Lilas to the ring. And then I'd send somebody else that wasn't supposed to go out there. So in other words, you couldn't pre-plan any of your motherfucking bullshit because you're going to go out. And then I'd say, oh, the referee, tell him to reverse roles. So the guy was supposed to be a heel to be a babyface. And that's how you get people good, because you have to know how to call it, because sometimes you got a 7-minute or you got a 10-minute segment. All of a sudden you get to the guy and somebody has a long entrance, something fucking happens. You think you got 8 minutes. So you got your A, B, C, D, E, F, G in your head. Then all of a sudden, the bell rings and the referee says you got 2 minutes. Yeah, but I got to get you know what I mean? So
Yep,
no, if you know how to call on the fly, it's all a goddamn fucking rib. If you don't know, you ain't got a chance. You ain't got a fucking clue, but you're really not expected to know. You can be stupid. Here's your match. Here's your prearranged thing.
Well, so you do have a chance. I mean, nobody calls it now. So I think everybody has a chance because that's how
what
it's done.
What did I say?
You said if you don't know how to call it, you don't have a chance.
Oh no, I meant no. They don't give a shit about now.
I'll answer your question. What I think, I don't think anybody calls it. They have everything planned out to the last final move from the start to the finish. You rarely see guys talk in the ring anymore. Like typically you can kind of tell when people are calling stuff. AEW, you could watch a 20-minute match with 9,000 spots and you hardly ever see them talk at all. They have everything memorized to a T from start to finish. So nobody really has to call it.
You see it in the botches too, because like the botches that happen are the guy, either the guy getting in position too early for something that he knows is about to happen. The botches, or the Jim Ross's favorite, the quail cluster there, where everybody stands around and waits for the dive. And I mean, you see it in the botches that you see. It's all people getting ahead of themselves.
Now I'm an old guy. Botches. Fuck botches. Now here's why. I don't want every punch to connect. I don't want every slam to be perfect. I want the guy he slipped off of him on that backdrop attempt. He went for a suplex, but he didn't get all of it. He missed him on those punches because he's trying to fucking fight. I don't want anything too perfect. Just think a duck under go behind it's so fucking smooth. Well, fuck you. Where's the fucking contest? Try and reverse it. You can't do it. Try it again. No, make it a fucking contest. And everybody else is so into their prearranged bullshit that everything's so smooth and fucking perfect. How many times in the NFL do you see a pancake block?
And also I think we didn't notice if there was a mistake, we didn't notice as much back in the day because it was It was done on the fly. You're right.
You just sold
the
it.
announcer would call it, say he didn't connect on it.
Right.
Now, like I say, the problem is now with all the choreography, it's impossible for the announcer to even cover it. How is Schiavone supposed to come up on the fly with an excuse for why this guy was standing there for 25 seconds and then the guy jumped over his head?
He was mesmerized. He was so intimidated. He was so tired. He was whatever it was.
They need somebody that knows how to improv more like you on there.
Well, the thing about it is, it's a shit product.
Mm.
And if you've been brought up with a shit product is what you get, and that's what you expect. You expect guys, a lot of the guys, when AEW come out with the skinny fat nerds wrestling, if everything's too smooth, that's just the way it is. Guys that know how to do it, you're punished because you know how to do it, but your opponent don't. So you have to sink. You're sinking to his fucking level.
Mm.
Now, here's some guy that's been around and that's worked so many years. But now the big thing is that the major companies, they don't even work. What do they have on the average? Two matches a week, 3 matches a week. A lot of guys for AEW don't ever wrestle, and they get a fucking check.
And
now, can you play any sport without practicing? No.
Well, the NFL does now. They don't practice anymore.
They don't practice anymore.
That's why every quarterback's out. That's why everybody gets hurt.
Well,
they got all the new rules where you can only practice.
Yeah,
you can't wear pads.
You're not allowed to hit. You're not allowed to hit him. Now, when we were taught a spear technique, we're trying to just spear the guy and run right through him. And now, if you hit something guy in the helmet or something, you can get kicked out. Or
yeah, we're not getting into the NFL rules right
okay,
now.
let's not get into NFL rules. The whole thing about it.
Rules are the reason I don't watch the NFL anymore. I tuned into that Lions Cowboys game and said, seriously, any sport where the guy has to tell the referee what they're going to do so he can tell the opponent what they're going to do. Holy crap. That's anyways. But yeah, I got a question for you, Rip. I want to throw something out there. Have you seen Ricky Starks lately and his social media and everybody that he's been out there training for the WWE?
No.
He's been taking photos at the Performance Center, hanging out with Jade in a ring, in gear, working out, doing stuff. He's another video just came out of him and Odyssey Jones. I think with Jade, it wasn't at the Performance Center. I think it was at the Nightmare Factory. And everybody knows he's one of Cody Rhodes' best buddies. And he's been seen at the Royal Rumble backstage with Cody. He's training Jade. He's working with Odyssey Jones. I mean, you're a trainer. Would you ever go and train somebody for the company that was paying your bills? For the competitor of the company that was paying your bills?
Well, I guess Tony Khan, it's okay. I don't know. Oh, Jade years ago, her and her husband come down to train with me in OVW.
She wasn't signed yet, though. Then
right, she wasn't signed.
Oh, tell us about that. Yeah. Tell us about that. I want to know more about training Jade. And
well, Mark Henry, she ran in the ring with Randy most of the time of the Outrunners, right? So he was training her. So I just sit there and tell him what to do. And I wanted to see see how green she was, this and that. And then she was better than most of the girls at that time. Now she looks so goddamn great. Holy shit. So then if you teach her a little bit, I would have had the best wrestlers like Bryan Danielson or whatever training her every day. But the people that work for, if you don't have matches, excuse me, this is going to get heat. I would make every person that works for AEW, since you're taking all Tony's money, to live in Jacksonville. You would go to fucking class all the fucking time. And you would be in bump shape. What happens, these guys go out there and bust their ass, but your body's not in ring shape. Well, that's like you don't go in the NFL and then just hit. No, it's a slow transition to getting in bump shape.
I mean, you and I chatted about this the other day over the phone. That Cody Rhodes there, he came back to the WWE tears his pec because he wasn't in regular ring shape. He was, and you know, I mean, he's in lifting shape, but somehow even with the time off that he'd had, he tore that pec right off of his arm. And when he came back, you noticed he went to a 200 match a year schedule, going from that AEW schedule where you're lucky to get in 2 matches a month. And look at him now. Look at the condition he's in. Look at the types of matches he's having and the quality. And the guy he's back in Iron Man shape again.
Well, and now just think back when you worked territories, you had about 350 matches a year.
And now we're applauding a guy for 200. Of course,
yeah. And I just laughed. I said, "Well, hell, they don't work at all." I said, "Well, I can see guys getting hurt because the timing's not there, and then they're not in bump shape." I mean, if you would take, like, if I really get hurt and you took 2 weeks off, you get back in the ring, a simple fucking slam, you couldn't walk the next day. Your back hurts so bad. But when you're bumping every day in every match, I said, okay, I want to take an arm drag bump. I want to take a hip toss. I want to take a slam. I want to take a suplex. And I want to get my hand, like with Von Linus, to be in chop shape. You hit somebody with those nice chops. A normal person, after the 3rd chop, your hand is fucking numb. It hurts so bad.
You look at these guys, they're bleeding in the matches from the chops. I mean, you know, going back to what you were talking about before I came on, I was watching you guys, and yeah, I mean, they're the strong style crap. They're actually, you know, never be, as Jim Cornette says, God bless him, never before has it looked so fake, and never before has it hurt so bad. And you know, it's almost like, I like to say that they've almost flipped the kayfabe over with the amount of injuries that they have from these guys actually doing stuff on each other. I'm watching the matches and I'm sitting there saying, "Oh my God, I think you might really be hurt." You know, they've got it to the point where I'm almost expecting that the guy gets injured. I went to that Forbidden Door thing, and everybody, we waited for Okada versus Danielson, and I remember everybody was confused and disappointed in that arena after that match. Everybody was kind of all the guys that have that don't shower and their chest hair and their beards connect. They were the guys that chant "Fight Forever" and "This is awesome." Even they were kind of wondering what the hell happened there. And obviously Danielson had hurt himself, because every single time they go out there, somebody gets hurt. It's not once a week anymore. It's now it's once every 3 or 4 weeks. So in Up All Night, we had to cancel the Injury of the Week club. But I mean, seriously, it's you see it, you know it.
If you're not in bump shape, if you're not in a ring, you can't be in ring shape. If you're not in ring shape, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get beat up doing basically nothing because your body's not used to it.
And now it's the new norm. It's becoming the new norm, at least over on one side of the wrestling business. And I mean, look, the main angle in AEW is now between 2 guys that don't look like they have a hope in hell of being in a ring within the next 3 to 4 months. I mean, Adam Cole he's going on 4 months, and his ankle is still in an air cast and still isn't allowed to touch the ground. MJF's out there wrestling in a shoulder support, and it ain't a rib, it ain't a joke, it ain't a gimmick. The guy's got a serious shoulder injury. Every match, you see these guys with all this athletic tape all over them, ruins their costumes, and they don't care because they are actually injured and are sore and are hurting while they're out there. You know, they have that poor little Riho girl. She gets hit on the head by Saraya or something, busts her open with 5 stitches. Who wants to see a 5-foot-tall, 90-pound girl get cut open and busted open and then show you a picture of her stitches? It's gross.
Well, who wants to see a 90-pound girl in pro wrestling anyway? I love when the girls give a clothesline with a 2-inch arm, I call it. How fucking embarrassing is goddamn that?
I watch Riho as the greatest rib in pro wrestling. And you know what? It's almost like she's catching on. She's starting to wrestle that way. She does spots where they catch her and then pass her around from one person to another. You know what? If she could wrestle comedy, and then if she has to win, if she must win, you do I guess you call it a schoolgirl roll up when she does it. But, you know, I mean, if they could keep her as a comedy character, she'd be super effective. I watch her as a rib, but I know that they're not promoting her as a rib, and that's what troubles me.
Well, in wrestling, you need the buffet.
Mm,
I don't want
smorgasbord.
I don't want 10 matches with high spots. I need a comedy match. I need a violent match. I need a blood and guts match. I need a tag team match. Everybody's got to have a different part of the audience.
Mhm.
If you go out there, and I remember one time I was working some spot show for Fuller in Continental. Tony Anthony went on like third, and I was on fifth, and I didn't pay any attention to his match. I went out there and did almost the exact same thing. I said, why ain't this getting over? And then somebody told me, well, Tony just did that 2 matches ago. And I said, oh, God damn, what an idiot I was. I was back in the dressing room doing extra squats and extra stuff for ego. But really, I was nuts because I didn't train much at the gym, and I looked like I was letting everybody down, so I had to be in shape. Well, I should be watching the matches so that anything that else did, okay, they worked the arm, we'll work a fucking leg, they're working a neck, they're working a back, this and that. Whatever they did for a high spot, I'll give it a look like I was going to do the same thing, but it'll be a different outcome. And they'll say, oh, I thought he was going to do this, but he didn't. I thought it was just like the other match, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So if we pay attention, we got this. But you have to pay attention, and you got to be in goddamn ring shape, or you cannot perform. You're going to get hurt. Never in my life did I miss a match because of illness or injury. I tore my fucking quad. What did I do that night? I wrestled 40 minutes against Regal in fucking England. He goes, Love, I think you tore your quad. I pushed it down. I said, oh, fuck. I heard something pop when I just got up. Before the match started, I was walking to the ring. I slipped in some beer, but I didn't take a bump. So I heard like a gunshot. And then I said, oh, fuck. So what did I do? We just worked the match and just limited the high spots. And the next day, he would not take me to the town because he knew I was going to work. I don't count that one. But what I relieved myself 13 times in Regal's house, and I wrote every time I snabitzed, boom, I'd mark it on the fucking wall just to pass the time in the day.
How long did you end up taking off of that for?
One day.
Oh my God.
I took 1 day off, and my quad still rolled up.
Wait a second.
Huh?
Bobby Fulton's on this show and said you blew out your knee. And you missed it. That's why he wrestled Haas Tweed in ICW or whatever. You blew out your knee in WWF.
I hurt my knee working for
and you were on crutches at ICW.
No. That was the show after what BB Coleman got me booked on. And I was a manager with crutches. And the cops, and I was what I was. I didn't know how to be a heel. I was doing everything you should not fucking do to get cheap heat. The fucking marks were trying to get me. So the cops, they let me out the window. Bobby was there. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but BB Coleman, that's where I was BB Coleman Jr. So that was lovely.
I thought he said it was ICW.
No, he might have said that, but it wasn't ICW. That was the match because I tore my quad with Tanaka and Fuji because the night before I worked against Georgie Animal Steel. So, and we bonded because he was a school teacher. I was a school teacher. He hit me with the green mist and put me in the hammerlock and everything. And he was a real wrestling coach. And then Ed Kerner from Seymour, Haas Tweed, so we had 3 school teachers there. So we was just swapping school teacher story because I wasn't worth a shit. And I don't think Haas had even had a match yet, but I got his HT singlet from Carlin Hildegard. Anyway, we're going off and this and that, but what the hell, right?
Hey, it's good to see Bobby's out there. And that's
yeah, Bobby was in the wrestling business when he was about 16. Or whatever it was, 16 or 17. Bobby was over.
Honored to have him listening to us. But and
No, he's not in the chat. He was on our show. He was.
Yeah.
We interviewed him here on the show.
Gotcha.
He was telling that story. All the top stars here on Wrestling with Rip Rogers.
Amen.
Somebody asking any questions on there? I can't fucking see.
Oh.
No, they were talking about if anybody's been on the cruise, the Jericho cruise. Somebody wanted to know.
Ooh. That's I don't know. Jericho is gonna. Somebody brought up a tweet he made about like 3-4 years ago for the cruise, saying, "Hey, 35% 18 to 49 females on the cruise. That's a lot of bikinis." I think he's gonna have to be on his best behavior. I think maybe his wife might even join him for this one this time.
This world is screwed. You can't say anything. You can't think anything. If they had the goddamn thing, you could go back and look at your goddamn life. Think of everything you said you're not supposed to say. Every person in this goddamn world is going to be doing it. And then we can't be as bad as the people that are on Epstein Island or whatever. So I can't wait for that shit to all come out.
Maybe that's where you should take the boat to. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Like you said, I say so many wrong things in a day. I make at least 5 jokes a day that don't land for everyone that does. So
what the hell?
Hey, for all you new listeners out there, if you've not visited ProWrestlingTees.com, the Wrestling with Rip Rogers shirt or the Hustler shirt, and there's a few other shirts in the Rip Rogers store, ProWrestlingTees.com, and also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, any new listeners out there, the book on pro wrestling, Lessons from Rip Rogers. You can get Rip's book on Amazon.com. How about that, Rip?
It don't get any better than that. And I had my Monster Factory t-shirt on right there. I guess I should have been plugging our t, but I didn't have one at the time.
You don't ever plug our stuff. You
Well,
just
I do.
plug other people's stuff.
Oh, what the hell?
Speaking of, Ron, you said you had some t-shirt line coming out. I didn't get a chance to get that put together.
Yeah, no worries. Do you still have the image or not?
Which image? I don't.
The NDA one.
Oh, I didn't. Shit.
There's
I didn't get that
snakes.
put up here. No, sorry.
Hey, I showed up about 2 minutes before showtime, so I'll have to take all the heat for him not being prepared because he goes, "Where the hell are you? You're supposed to be here." I said, "Well, I had to get something to eat."
None of that's true.
Oh, no. So what I'm doing right now, listen, I've got I figure I've got a few people that follow me. Some of them even like me, some of them don't. But I got enough people following me, and I've got enough funny ideas. I'm starting a website called www.merchforjerks.com for jerks like me. It's where you can find parody wrestling shirts. We're going to be, the first one we're making is an NDA, NWO style shirt for the non-disclosure agreements. And I think, when you're NDA for life. And, we're going to be doing a few more parody shirts and trying to make some funny merchandise that funny wrestling fans can wear to their favorite wrestling shows to make fun of their least favorite wrestlers.
Cool. I just put that website in the chat there, www.merch4jerks.com. So that's
and you can go to Merch for Jerks, FOR or 4. I got them both registered. They're going to be up and live this weekend. So and by the way, Rip, thanks again for having me on. The invite is so sincerely appreciated, and you kind of pushed me in the direction of, hey, maybe I should do a little promotion, maybe get that shirt out. People have been asking if they could get that little.
You ought to send me some. You ought to send us some free shirts. What the hell is the matter with you?
I'm going to get you guys some free merch for jerks right away. You guys,
yeah.
you'll be my fashion plate. You'll be my model.
Need merch, and we're definitely jerks. So what the hell, right?
Absolutely.
Also, if you're watching this and have not subscribed to Wrestling with Rip Rogers on YouTube, you need to go right now to Wrestling with Rip Rogers. You're watching the damn channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notifications button. You need to see that thing go up. And then also, there was one other thing I was going to say about that.
I got to say smash. Not yet.
Yeah, go ahead and like this video right now, too. Like everything we're doing right now. Go back, watch some of our old stuff. All kinds of interviews. We were talking about that today. I mean, we've had Karrion Kross on here, Gail Kim on here, Mickey James on here, Mark Henry on here, Dr. Tom Pritchard on here. Gerald Briscoe on here. We've had about 50 different interviews on here, so go check all the old stuff out on
All
the
the
channel.
top stars, ladies and gentlemen.
You mentioned Carrion. I should tell a quick, the tiny little anecdote. I sat next to him and his lovely girlfriend Scarlett at that Double or Nothing, the first AEW show. And listen, that wasn't my seat. I just kind of snuck up because I saw a few empty seats near the ringside on the now infamous hard cam side, and sat next to him. Had no idea who he was. Told me he was a wrestler. Still didn't know who he was. I was just getting back into things. We're watching Jericho and Omega, and I just remember watching Jericho and Omega with him, and I said, "Gee, this Kenny Omega guy, he's not really that strong. He can't lift him up." And he says, "That's not how it works." He said Jericho got too fat to get up. Anyway, was maybe my first indication that something not all was as it was meant to be in AEW.
Yeah.
And you know what we talked about? He talked to me about looking at the AEW and looking at the WWE, and I guess whatever he saw out there, he made his mind up and decided not to join the circus that night.
Oh well. First of all, God bless Tony Khan.
No.
No, if we didn't have AEW, what would we talk about on the show?
Well, we never talk about it.
Okay.
Today's show, maybe.
And then WWE could do what the hell they wanted to because they'd have no competition at all.
At least they're trying. I mean, what they're doing these days is 10,000 times better than what it used to be. I mean, it's I can't even. I used to be able to make fun of the WWE, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to find things to make fun of with that product these days. They still take 4 minutes while they stand in the ring looking at each other during commercial breaks. That's horrendous, but there's less and less and less to make fun of when the cameras are rolling.
Dave Jones said, "The strongest man, Mark Henry, my top 3 favorite Rip podcasts." I don't know if does Mark Henry have a show too, or is he just talking about
on
when
your
he was
show?
on here? Maybe he was just talking about when he was on here, probably. Yeah, Mark was good. He was good.
He isn't that the one where he showed off that he still owns the jacket?
Yeah, he had it on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I need to get myself a pink jacket like that one day. I want one. You want a shirt? I want that jacket. Salmon.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Well, the most important thing is for you to send us some merchandise, merch for jerks. Well, we're definitely jerks, so what the hell, right? We're not Mom and Apple Pie. We're the bad guys. We're both heels, really. So
we can play this.
This is from Rhonda Shane, by the way, a frequent contributor to the program.
From Up All Night? That was Rhonda Shear.
That was Rhonda Shear. No, completely different. This is Rhonda Shane. You know the drill. It's Rhonda Shane.
I actually didn't know the drill. I thought it was Rhonda.
No, it's Rhonda
I
Shane.
thought it was Rhonda Shane.
No, I just clearly said Rhonda Shane.
The illegitimate daughter of Bobby Shane, Rhonda Shane.
Well, and Ron would be extremely, I'm sure, thrilled if he was the illegitimate offspring of Bobby Shane. But nevertheless, and this is a topic we might need to discuss with some seriousness. So put your big boy pants on there, fella.
All right.
okay. Well,
How about that? So, is you still write into Cornette? Does he still read your stuff? You still a gimmick with him, or what's up with that?
Like Jim always says, how do they miss you if you don't go away? I got a little busy with my day job. I haven't written him enough as much as I want to, and it's like it's one of those constant sources of guilt. I know I need to write him a nice letter and send maybe tell him some more about fantasy wrestling and Tony Khan. I mean, I was listening to that press conference that Tony Khan was just doing, and he kept talking about how he used to book Dynamite when he was 12 years old, and in the back of his Catholic school. And what he was doing was just writing down matches. He shouted out the Midnight Express because he used to write down matches, saying, "Oh, I'm going to go home and use my little computer wrestling simulator and make simulations of the wrestling matches tonight." And that's what he calls booking. He just writes down matches that he thinks a computer wrestling simulator would spit out 4 or 5 stars for. And now, instead of using a simulator, he uses Dave Meltzer and Cage Match. But he's still doing the same thing, just picking matches from reads the message board. Here's that this guy's hot. Here's this guy might have some work rate, and throws them together and waits to see if cagematch.net tells him it's any good.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start gambling, scratch offs and all the kind of stuff where you can bet on and hit the lottery. When I'm lotto winner, we're going to start our own wrestling company. We're going to have an old school wrestling, but I'll let you fans tell me what to do. And I'm going to get my hair. I'm going to roller it up. I'm going to have my eyes real wide, and I'm going to just have all the top stars. And then, but I'll let you people, you write in and let me know what it is.
You could
say I want all 6-star. We'll give you 6-star matches.
You could just get Vaughn to put his hat on you and make you look like an asshole.
I'm already a fucking asshole. I could get Vaughn's hat and put it on you, and you look like a. And you, what would you look like?
You don't need to do any work on this to make me look like an asshole.
Oh, I'm still disappointed that girl dressed up wasn't you, man. I was having some sexual fantasies there, and then I was thinking about asking you to go on to Jericho's The Cruise thing, because the Outrunners were going to be there, and we could be spinning, and I'd be with you as a hot broad.
He might ask me if he can get a free fitness duo on my OnlyFans.
Man, my love life is shattered now.
Oh, well, you know what? You can always spend some personal time with those photos, and lots more photos of me on facebook.com/group/Rhonda Shane. That's Up All Night with Rhonda Shane. And if you want, we even do customs. So if you've got a picture of a nice looking lady and you want my face pasted on it, my graphic design team will make sure that happens for you, and you do whatever you want with it in the privacy of your own home.
Awesome, man.
Well, you're on fire for this.
We're gonna get to the out or the gotta can't even think what they're called now. Starcade, baby. This is Starcade. So we're gonna bring this show to a close. Thanks for everybody watching today. Appreciate it. Anybody new, make sure you subscribe.
We had Rhonda Shane on today, or Ron DeShane. He's two. Do I get to see the chop where you hit turbo and
nope.
Chop? And well, I was waiting the whole time for that. Like at least we get
start the hair. All right. Out of here.
Next time I'm on here, I might be shaved bald. You never know. Thanks for